always defined success by winning gold medals, which I've done. But my success has come from the opportunities I've had for winning those gold medals. Now, if I won a silver or a bronze or not won at all, I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to have the voice that I have today. But fortunately, I had the right people, the right mother and father, the right social workers, the right caretakers, to let me take that gold medal and give it a whole new meaning and a whole new voice. My mother, unfortunately, really had lost track of what life was really about. She was a great Christian lady. She went to school. I actually went to a Catholic school. But she made a bad decision. She got involved with the wrong people, like we hear so many times, time and time again. Well, this person ended up bringing her down to Florida, to Tampa, Florida. And unfortunately, he was a pimp. And what he did is he had various women. And in order to keep a hold of his women, he would get them pregnant. By getting them pregnant, they therefore had no place else to go but to rely on him. One day my mother decided that she wanted to give a better life for the both of us, and she decided to leave. We went all the way from Hawaii to Arizona to Virginia. I mean, we went everywhere. And we ended up settling finally in Las Vegas, Nevada. Unfortunately, he finally tracked her down and he caught her. And when he got her, he ended up breaking both of her hands. She had to find a way to provide some type of living for us. And unfortunately, she only had one option, what she thought, and that was to go back to tricking. By the time I was 3 years old, I was pretty much living on the streets with some quote-unquote homeboys. These were 8, 9-year-old kids that we'd walk around Las Vegas just trying to find a way or do whatever we could do just to survive. I wasn't able to have that mother-son relationship to where I was guaranteed to have food or to be provided some of the amenities that it takes to live, house, food, so on and so forth, just the small stuff. There'd be times I'd get to the point where I was unable to be successful in finding a way to survive, and I one time went in my mother's room and she was laying face down on the bed, and I cut her pockets open to be able to get some money so I could buy some food at the Carl's Jr. that was out back. One day that my life changed, and I was walking down the sidewalk. Car pulled up next to me and said, "You Marlon?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." I got my little tight blue Speedos on, no shirt, no shoes, no socks. And I'm about this time, about 4 years old. And he says, "We're going to take you to a better place." I said, "Can we get some McDonald's?" I said, "Sure, we'll get you McDonald's." So I had my first Happy Meal. I'll never forget it. This plastic toy, you put the two sides together, you take the axles, you pop it on, you got yourself a car. This was awesome. Trust me. This was the greatest day of my life. And the caretaker was letting me play on this lawnmower for quite some time before the accident actually happened. But there were two of us. Right when I got to him, my foot slipped in the lawnmower and it happened. But the damage wasn't necessarily done then. The damage was done when he went into shock. And that's when the lawnmower continued to mutilate my foot. Not to use such a harsh word, but that's what happened. But I didn't cry, from what I'm told. I actually didn't cry until I was actually in the ambulance. And they pulled out a needle. No, we're good. Not having it. Not having it. Not having it. I went to this event and I did the high jump. I jumped 6 feet 4, 6 feet 6 inches. One leg, dropping the crutches, pop into the bar. Guy comes up to me, "Hi, I'm Brian Hoddle." I'm like, "Hey, Marlon, Shirley, have you ever heard of the Paralympics?" "No." "Well, you just broke the world record by 6 inches. Well, how big can it really be?" A golfer, try too hard, ooh, shake. Hit too hard, ooh, shake. Run too hard, try too hard, and it just doesn't work. I was relaxed. I slowed myself down. You have to slow down to be fast. Wow, that's an oxymoron. What's going to happen when people start to come into your life and say, you can't do things? If they're friends, you can do something about that. You can say, "You know what? I don't have time for you, I don't think. I'm going to go ahead and just get away from this environment." But what if it's family? What do? You can't just say, "Okay, Mom, Dad, I'm not going to, see you anymore." It can't happen. That's when you have to make the choice that, yeah, Brian was a part of my life, and he can be around me. And I will listen to him, but in no way am I going to let him influence me. That's what it takes to be a champion, is that you can have all this noise going on around you and all this muck and this stink and whatever it is, but as long as you don't let it adhere to you, then you can stand tall, put your hands up and just be like, I'm number one, because it feels great. This is hungry. Because for your life, you've done nothing but for the last 3 years train yourself for one moment to make it happen now. There's no room for mistakes. Set. We get up. Boom! The gun goes off. And you train yourself in a specific motion. You're not learning how to run then. If you don't have it then, you're not getting it. Leading into that competition, those last moments, even 2-3 days before, there's nothing you can do to get better. There's only things you can do to get worse. You're sitting behind the blocks, you slow your heart rate down. And you let your body go through the motion you trained yourself for. Just like with adversity. What do you do when something comes upon you you don't know how to deal with? If you've trained your life to have a specific reaction, it just happens. Is your first step backwards and then going forward? Football players, cornerbacks, receivers. Receiver doesn't take a step back and then go. He just goes. When you have adversity come at you, you don't sit back and just go, oh man, what am I going to do? You just go. And that's what we did. The gun goes off. 9 guys with the same situation. Everybody with the story. All that matters is who's going to win. Because by the end of the day, it's competition. It's amazing what I'll find myself watching sometimes, traveling through China and through Europe. I don't know what they're doing. I just know that someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And it's exciting to see the champion come out, whether they win or lose. You can tell by the way they react, whether they win or lose. 30 meters, boom. I don't see anybody. That's fine. 50, 60, I still don't see anybody. The problem is every race that I lost at 60 meters. I did not have the ability to finish a race. Much like in life, in cars and racing, you have to change gears. I mean, there are some of us that are designed with the great low-end gear. We'll get out of the gun, no problem. It is not happening. I got a 69 Mach 1 Mustang. That thing is geared low. It's not going to go over 100 miles an hour, but it'll get from 0 to 40 like that. Then you got these guys who got these hot rod sports Lamborghini cars. Yeah, their gear kind of low, but what if the first and second gear was broken? They got to start off in third gear. That's fine, but it may take them a long ways to get up to speed. They're going to run out of real estate. What's a champion in life? Somebody who can change gears, start fast, finish great, be able to make these changes and adjust to your environment. I get to 60, and I'm up, and I still see nobody. 70, I see nobody. 80, 90, boom, I see nobody. I mean, you saw my action, I'm just like, oh! I mean, it looks funny doing it, but gosh, the rush of energy that goes through you. You just won the 100-meter dash. You're the fastest in the track and field. Has never been my life, but it's always been a lifestyle. And it's afforded me so many opportunities. And that's one thing that sports really can do. We hear so many negative things about it, but we forget about the opportunities and the outlets and the opportunities of college and so many other things to just compete and be successful or great at something. Whether you're the best or whether you're the worst, everybody goes through the same fight to get to that one point. One is when I train, I didn't train to win on the best day. I trained to win on an 80% day. When I had a 100% day, which are far and few between, I break world records. I live my life to where a normal day can still be good. A great day, you change the perception of people. To be able to go on a track and stand there as an amputee and in 11 seconds change somebody's life, change their thoughts, change their perceptions of people with disabilities without having to say a word is an unbelievable gift. I train to win at 80. I break world records on 100% days.